Welcome to the channel. They arrived in early summer, late at night. We heard a frequency sound, high-pitched ringing. I thought it was a dog whistle at first. Who's making that noise? Do you hear that? I asked both my sons. They looked at me puzzled. Strange. We felt this weird sensation come over us. It's like as if time had stood still. Like somehow everything around us had stopped. It was strange. I never felt nothing like it before. I remember that night we went to bed, the night they arrived. Everybody went back to their room. My phone kept ringing notifications from the security camera. But every time I got on, all I could see was those lights. Strange looking lights. As the days went by, I noticed more and more of them appeared outside. In the bushes, up in the trees, they were everywhere. Some was long, some was short, some were round, some were square. One night, I decided to have a little bonfire, get the boys out the house. We love sitting outside at night, enjoying a bonfire, some marshmallows. It might have been a little bit after 11 o'clock. Beautiful summer night, perfect temperature. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. And then it came. The first one arrived. We saw what appeared to be a red orb. We were puzzled. We thought it was a motorcycle or some sort of electronic bike or something coming down the alley. And we were looking at a brake light. None of us wanted to admit that what we were looking at was that, what I said, a red orb. We waited. We waited to see what was going to drive by or ride by. But we never saw a bike or a motorcycle. We would hear what sounded like a motorcycle, but there was no motorcycle. Puzzled, confused, we would stand there staring into the darkness of our backyard. How is that possible? There's a motorcycle right there, but we can't see it. No, it's not on the next street over. We saw the light. That orb, that red orb is what you're looking at. It's stationed right above that garage. Some nights I would get on the camera after it had been set off several times and I didn't see anything, and all of a sudden it would open like it was an eyeball, and it would open its eye. And it would stare back at me like it could see through the house. We would grab our flashlights and run out there to investigate. Camera in a hand and a flashlight in the other. What are these lights? And what is that sound we're hearing? Frequencies. It's not ringing in the ear. This was all around our house, coming up to the windows. One night, I couldn't sleep. After watching what appeared to be some sort of light releasing balls of light, kept me up all night. I'm sitting at the computer desk in my bedroom, and I was working on a book that I had been writing for God knows how long, when all of a sudden I had my bedroom window open. I hear a strange sound at my window. This noise, the sound that I was hearing, I thought it was a bug, some sort of insect, because that's what it sounded like. Right outside my window. I get up, I push the curtains back, I pull them back out towards me, thinking a bug, some sort of insect would be hanging on it or behind it, but there was nothing there. A few moments later, that very same sound, I hear it again, but this time, it's inside my room. I looked over towards the window and I saw what looked like a worm or a caterpillar, a glowing caterpillar flying. Just for a moment, I seen it. And just like that, it was gone. I couldn't see it. It turned off its light. But it was in my room. I could hear it. I could feel it. I felt this energy. It started off small, but it started to expand to where the whole room felt like it was alive, like this energy, this vibration pulsating. I began to cry. I can't take it anymore, I said to myself, to whatever was there listening. I hear it again. This time, it's closer. Then the camera goes off. I pull down the notification on my phone, and it shows a picture of a strange light sitting on my fence near my car. Earlier, there were two. Now, there's only one. That second one is in my room right now. I cried out to God, I don't know what this is. Please, God, please intervene. Please protect me and my children. What is this? Why are we going through this? Why does this have to happen to us? What did I do, Lord? What did I do? It was close to 4 o'clock in the morning. I called it a night, and I decided to go to bed. As soon as I got into the bed, you guys, I hear this noise again. But this time, it's right by my ear. That would be the last time that I would hear it for the next 3 days. I had this incredible headache. Nothing would touch it. Not Tylenol, not ibuprofen, nothing. Water, I drank so much water. Nothing would relieve this headache. On the third day, I woke up and it felt lighter. My head felt much lighter. Like I had been in some car accident and banged my head on something, and now it's starting to heal. Like it was insane. But I was grateful that the pain, the excruciating headache, was finally gone. The past 3 days, I didn't get much done because of the headache, so I was eager to get up and start working on my book again and making some videos for you guys on TikTok. So that was the first thing I did. I got up, I sat down at the computer desk, I ordered some takeout, and I began working. And then I heard it again. 3 days had gone by and I hadn't heard it. And now it's back. And it's right by my ear. I slowly put my head down as the tears trickled down my cheeks. And I said, quietly, softly, please, leave me alone. I heard it again, but this time it was further away from me. It was near the window. I didn't see anything. I could only hear it. About a minute later, the camera goes off. I pull down the notification and I look, and there on the fence by my car are 2 round white lights. There's one of them right there. The second one had returned back to where it started. Before I went to bed that night, I got back on the camera, scared to death that it would be like some sort of invitation, me even getting on the camera. I didn't want this thing getting back in. I didn't understand what it was, but I had to see, I had to check and make sure it was still there. They were both gone. A few weeks later, I wake up to hearing footsteps in the hallway, loud footsteps. I felt sedated. I felt like I had been drugged, like something, like I took sleeping meds or something before I went to bed, but I know I hadn't. I glanced at the clock. It was a little after 3 a.m. As I laid there in the bed listening to what sounded like several people, at least 3, walking up and down the hallway, going in and out of the bathroom, I started to panic. Oh my God, somebody's broken into our house. They're in the house. They're in the house. Someone broke into our house. I can't move though, barely. I feel so tired. But my boys, it took everything inside of me to call out. Who is it? I cried out. I heard a voice. It did not sound like my son's, neither one of them. It responded, it's me. And like instantly, I felt this soothing, this comfort. And it's like as soon as I heard it, it was like this relief came over me. And I closed my eyes and I went back to sleep. The next day I woke up and I looked at the boys and I said, we got to get out of here. We need a break. I'm going to go crazy here. So we found a place to go. It was about an hour drive. It was like a hotel, but it was called Cherry Valley. Such a beautiful place. In the middle of this place, they had an outdoor area. Fairy lights hung everywhere. They had a pond. It was gorgeous. It was perfect. The rooms had balconies, and it was surrounded by acres and acres of woods. This was a perfect place for us to go. So I set it up for us to spend 3 nights there, just to get away. On the way there, the drive was wonderful. I was relaxed. I felt content. I felt like whatever this was we were experiencing, we left it behind. And everything would be okay. We get to the hotel and we set up our things, and I decided to go out and grab some dinner. There was a pizza place nearby that we really enjoy. We ordered the pizza and we headed out that night. On the highway, I missed our exit, so it took us out a little further. And as soon as the exit came, I got off. There was a truck that was also turning. As I'm getting ready to turn back onto the exit, there's an open field to the right of me. The truck is turning, and I see this light racing from the woods. It came out of the woods, and it's racing towards this, the bend, the curve, metal bar, that keeps you from going over. And I'm thinking it's just a reflection from that truck that's turning. The truck turns, but I still see this light racing, running. It's doing about at least 80 miles per hour. And right when I go to turn on the highway, it crashes right into the metal bin railing, the metal railing. My mouth fell open. I could not believe what I just seen, what I just saw. It was one of these light entities, and it has followed us. I get back to the hotel, we eat, and we have our dinner. I go out on the balcony. It's about a little after 1 a.m. I promised the boys I wouldn't get on the camera. I promised the boys that I would leave all of that behind. My son swore to me that he did not see that light being crashed into the metal railing, but I know he did. He just wanted me to relax, you guys. He wanted me to get away from this stuff. So I waited until they got on their video games, and I sat on the balcony smoking, chain smoking, by the way. And I couldn't help myself. I got on the camera. I had to. And there they were. I saw them again. And I didn't understand. If they're there, what was that? I know what I saw. I continued to watch until 3 o'clock in the morning. I stayed on the camera, checking all 4 cameras, going all the way around the house. Look at them. At some point, I must have dozed off, because what woke me up, I heard a voice, "Wake up, wake up, it's here." And then something touched my right shoulder. When I opened my eyes, in between the 2 trees, I'm on the 2nd story. But down below, right before you entered the woods, was an open field with 2 big trees. And standing in between the 2 trees, I thought it was a coyote. It was like a strange looking dog. And it was watching me. Its eyes were glowing. I thought I was tripping. I rubbed my eyes like, wait a minute, what is this? This isn't someone's pet. This is a coyote. And then it turned sideways and I saw the size of it. Oh my God. I was terrified. It was so big, I felt like it could climb up the balcony and get me. I jumped up from my seat and ran into the house, to the room that we were renting. I closed and locked the balcony. The boys were sitting there, eyes wide open. "What is it, Mom?" "Whatever you do, don't you step foot out on that balcony once that sun goes down," I told them. "Mom, you said you wouldn't." "This has nothing to do with what's going on at home. There's something out there in those woods." The room smelled like dog urine, by the way. There was a strong scent of it. And whatever they sprayed before we got there had wore off. 3 days we spent there. Our time was up and we came back home. Little did we know that they had multiplied. So the lights we were seeing before we left, it was double that amount now. A few nights after returning home, my son was in the den. I was in the kitchen cooking, making us some food. And he was playing the video game. And I heard him say, "Wow." And I go, What? What is it?" He goes, "Someone, I think a drone just went past the window. That was cool." I said, "A drone?" He goes, "Yeah. I believe it was a flying drone. Like somebody around here." And I said, "Well, what did it look like? Like one of your drones?" He goes, "No. It was like a black triangle shape." He was like, it went past not our house, but the neighbors, but he could see it through the window. 5 minutes later, the whole entire room lit up blue. It lasted about 3 seconds. And I said, "I'm in the kitchen and I could see it. What was that?" And he runs into the kitchen. He goes, "Mom, it came back. And it was by our window this time. And it was facing me." And he goes, "I don't know what it just did, Mom, but Everything turned blue. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes. Then the tapping started. We started hearing tapping on the walls, on the windows. We were freaking out. The light fixtures started to flicker. That's how we knew they were here. That they've come, they've arrived. The lights every night, like clockwork, would begin to flicker. And then I started hearing a voice. Sound like a woman. At first it was mumbled. I couldn't make out what she was saying. She came every night. And then one night, as I was dozing off, drifting off to sleep, she came again. But this time I could hear her. I understood what she was saying. And this is what she said. Gaia is ascending. She is awakening. And she will open her mouth and release her soul. Everything on Gaia will ascend. You need to focus on your light. Stop staring out into the night and focus on your light. There are dark ones coming, and you all have never experienced them before. They are more aggressive. They are highly intelligent. And they are celestial. So everybody won't be able to see them. But you will. I woke up. I wrote it down. She came again that next night. And I could hear her clearly. I had been on the camera again. She said, "Chosen one, please. That's enough staring into the night. It's time. You must focus on your light. They're coming. They're coming." And she began to weep. I said, "You will help me. You will help us, right? Are you the lights that I've been seeing? We cannot protect everyone. There are only a handful of you." That she didn't use that exact word, but we can only help so many of you. There are so many that will perish. And I asked her, like, how many people are going to perish? Like, can you give me an estimate? Like, what is this? And she began to cry again. There was a spirit portal that opened in the back. And I started watching it. Every night I would watch this spirit portal. I couldn't go to sleep until I saw them come, because I knew they were the guardians of the light. And I had to make sure they were here, and they were here to protect me. Because now I know these dark ones are coming. These dark celestials will come. And I needed to make sure the ones of the light were here. And I would watch every night. And the nights they didn't show up, I would cry. And I would stay awake all night waiting. Then one night, while watching the spirit portal, I saw the beings of light come out. And then I saw something else. I saw dark shadows coming out of the spirit portal. They were short, small, and skinny. But I seen them. And I didn't understand because I had only seen light coming out of it. Pure light. What is this? I asked myself. What am I seeing? What is this? For the next several nights, I would watch. First, all of the light beams would come out. And I would smile, and I would sing, and I would dance. And I would say, praise the Lord, for the angels are here. But then, after they came out, I started seeing the dark shadows come out as well. And I didn't understand. How can they come out of the same portal? This is a portal of light. How can these dark shadows come out of this portal? Little did I know, they were gathering around that tree. And they took a shape and a form that I've never seen before. And on that camera, I started seeing what appeared to be a figure made out of dark shadows. I thought I was tripping, I told myself. I started calling on my ancestors and all of my star family and aliens and everything else and all the archangels that I could think of. I had them outnumbered. So I began to relax and trust that I was safe and nothing bad would happen. The dark figure started to materialize over the next few weeks. One night, right before the sun went down, I got on the camera and I saw a huge spider web. So I told myself, before it gets dark, go outside and clean that camera. That way I can see. And that's what I did. I grabbed the ladder. I headed outside before the sun was all the way down. And I got up on the ladder and I started wiping the camera. And then I felt like something was watching me. I turned and I looked behind me, and over at the park, right in that corner where this dark shadow had materialized, I see a man standing there. I'm looking directly at his face. His skin color was dark skin, but with like a bronze highlight. He was very handsome. He was there. I saw him. And then I went to look down at his body to see what he was carrying, like what kind of build did he have. And all I saw was this black mist. I seen it with my eyes. I turned back around quickly, trying to play it off like I didn't notice him, like I didn't see him, but we made eye contact. And for a moment there, as I'm finishing up, it felt like something touched my shoulder. I climbed down from the ladder, you guys, and I rushed into the house because the sun, it was disappearing quickly. And I knew I needed to be back inside that house before it got dark. I went on. Night fell. I had dinner, took a shower, and headed to bed. I felt very drained. I was used to staying up, but this night it was different. I felt so exhausted. By midnight, I was done. I had crawled into the bed, and I remember trying to get on the camera, but it said the cameras were offline. It did that sometimes. They would do it. They made that happen. I don't even remember when I fell asleep. I just remember waking up and feeling something standing on top of the house right there over my bedroom. This energy, it was the most disgusting energy I've ever felt in my life, and it was heavy. It began to melt down, come down the walls like melting chocolate, melting plastic, and it laid on top of me, and I couldn't move. I was wide awake. My body was all twisted up. I laid there helpless, crying, please God help me, please God help me. At some point I fell asleep, and what woke me up next was two people. I heard two voices in my room speaking clear English. Why is she laying like that? Look at her foot. It's swollen. Well, it's because of the way she's laying. I didn't understand what was happening. What is this? Help me. Why ain't they helping me? At some point, I fall back to sleep. And what wakes me up next, I feel that heavy energy that had been suppressing me, hammering me down to that mattress, rip off of me. It was like someone just ripped a blanket off of me. You know the blanket, that those weight blankets? Imagine like a 30-pound weight blanket laying over top of you from your head to your feet, and then just being ripped off of you. And then I hear what sounds like something flying off the top of the roof. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun is shining on my face. And as soon as I stood up, I heard, you just experienced your first warlock. A warlock? Are you serious? I didn't see him anymore. He was gone. It's like he left. I believe, looking back, it was the Lyrans. The Lyrans got rid of him. And that is why I did not experience him anymore. Make sure you come back, you guys, for part 2. If you'd like to hear more about my encounters, my experiences, I am doing a birthday marathon. My birthday's February 29th, but it did not come this year, so I will be celebrating February the 28th and March the 1st. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. Peace.